Let me introduce to you. My name is Christian Feichtinger. I'm the Executive Director of the International Astronautical Federation, and I'm pleased to be your Master of Ceremony for this IAF networking lunch. This event has now become already a kind of tradition. Every year at the European Space Conference on the first day we are hosting this networking lunch, and this year we have a record participation, so thank you all for being with us today. And without further ado, I would like to welcome, of course, specifically our guest of honor, Minister Dorothy Baer, the Federal Minister of Research, Technology and Space of the Federal Republic of Germany. And we are blessed that she is gonna give us some welcoming remarks. If I would like to ask her to take the stage here. So please take a seat and enjoy.
Well, thank you very much. And don't let your lunch be bothered by a speech, but I'll do it anyways. Esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad to be here with you today, here at the International Astronautical Federation, at the heart of the international space community. So in this room is really a great expertise and a great passion. It all comes together here, passion about space, one and all, which I share, by the way, and I'm glad to be part of it, sparking that in others as often as I can. As for Germany, I would say it's working quite well. On the last open house day at our ministry, I was most impressed about how many visitors we had, precisely because of space, children most of all, but not only them. It is this interest, this fascination that we need now, because space is more important than ever. So it's a top priority for the federal government in Germany. And we mean business. For the first time, space features in a German ministry's name. Together with research and technology, you have the German abbreviation BMFTR. BM, which stands for Federal Ministry, and as I like to say about the letters FTR, as the young kids would call it, it stands for future. That's exactly how we see ourselves, as a ministry for future, through and through, for all to see. I'm very happy about my new Directorate General for Space at my ministry, headed by none other than Thomas Reiter. Thomas Reiter, where are you? Here he is. So, one among your ranks, a real astronaut and a real general too, who has spent a total of 350 days in space, who is now on hand to provide guidance and advice. So much expertise, so much experience in such a crucial post is hard to top. Mr. Reiter, I thank you so much for your commitment. It is great to have you on board with us. The money to match all this shows that Germany is taking responsibility. We are providing a record budget for space activities, something which was also highlighted at the ESA Ministerial Council. Germany is putting up more than 5 billion euros, making us the biggest contributor among the ESA member states. But only all the contributions taken together add up to the biggest ESA budget of all times. And I think this is really a clear commitment to space activity as an investment in our future. And it sends a clear signal. Germany is glad to lead the way when it comes to space. But on our own, we are too small to scale, of course. To achieve success, we must all join in. So the more we pool our resources, the better. Our national efforts, our European efforts, as well as private sector capacities. Where a lot of potential can still be tapped, that is what I want to campaign for. And that's why I'm here in Brussels today. And as I said on my table already, actually I'm not here today because Parliament is in session, and normally we are not allowed to leave Berlin when Parliament is in session, but I think it is very, very important to show up here and to show you that it's very important for the whole German government, everything recording to space, and I'm very happy too to sit next to you, Commissioner Kubilius, and I thank you so much for the great work we can do together. At the ESA Ministerial Council in Bremen, we announced a twofold paradigm shift. One, do more for businesses and other users. Read user friendliness. Two, do more for the economy. Read competition. But the task now is implementation. As I travel around the country, stopping in at many startups, at many new companies in the space industry, I sense a great pioneering spirit. The spirit at these companies is our big chance to get to the next level in space. But, and that's the most important thing, I think we all have to be way faster than before. Ladies and gentlemen, the pioneering spirit is getting an even greater boost because the fact that a German will be the first European to travel to the moon is a great honor, of course, and a great obligation. And I'm really looking forward to that. But for now, I very much look forward to our discussion. Thank you once again for inviting me here, and I hope we really have a fruitful discussion during this day and tomorrow. And I'm sure we see each other in this year or the next years at so many meetings. And thank you so much for being part of our great space family. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Beer, for the inspiring words. And it's now my distinct pleasure to welcome on stage the President of the International Astronautical Federation, Gabriela Arrigo.
Thank you, Christian. So, good morning. So, distinguished authorities, Commissioner Kubilius, Minister Beer, ESA Director General Joseph Aschbacher, dear colleagues, distinguished guests. So it's a great pleasure to be here today with all of you to open a new year of activities of the International Astronautical Federation and for the global space community. This year is particularly meaningful to me as it marks my first year as president of the International Astronautical Federation, and I'm very pleased that it coincides with the Federation's 75th anniversary. The IAF was founded in 1951 against the backdrop of the Cold War, with a clear and ambitious purpose to provide a neutral and trusted platform for dialogue among scientific communities divided by political blocs. Its founders were guided by the strong conviction that peaceful exchange and international cooperation in space could transcend political, economic, and cultural boundaries. 75 years later, that conviction remains unchanged. While political and economic tensions continue to shape our world, our mission endures with the same spirit: to promote dialogue and cooperation among all space actors around the world, without limit, exclusions, or discrimination. In a rapidly evolving geopolitical and space context, what truly sets the International Astronautical Federation apart from any other forum is not only its inclusiveness, but also the concrete tool it offers to transform dialogue into meaningful cooperation. Allow me to briefly mention some key IAF gatherings that serve this purpose. First, the International Astronautical Congress, is the first Federation flagship event where more than 6,000 space stakeholders meet annually in one place to discuss projects, exchange experiences, and establish new collaboration in space. Second, the IAF Global Space Leaders Summit is the only space forum that brings together more than 40 heads of space agencies and institutions from around the world during the IC to exchange vision, strategy, and programs. Third, the IAF International Meeting for Ministers and Members of Parliament is a unique platform which convenes minister and parliamentary representatives from all countries to discuss space from political and social perspectives. And finally, the IAF International Space Forum, organized annually in different regions of the world, to promote the responsible use of space technology and engage new countries in space activities, contributing to the resolution of local challenges and supporting the sustainable development of communities and populations. So today the Federation brings together more than 600 member organizations from over 80 countries, including space agencies, academia, industry and civil society. Our community is continuing to grow in diversity and participation, uniting policymakers, scientists, engineers, lawyers, economists, students, and professionals from all generations around a shared responsibility. After 75 years, our convention remains firm. Safeguarding space means strengthening cooperation, responsibility, and peace. These are our values and our guideline principles. These are the IAF conditions that make the future of space possible. So thank you so much for being here today and sharing this responsibility with us.
Thanks a lot, Gabriela. Giving you a bit of an insight on the history of the IEC. She was also mentioning the 75th anniversary of the IAF, which we will celebrate this year. Rest assured, we will organize a nice event in Paris towards the end of the year to celebrate this anniversary. And of course, we would like to invite you all and see you all there to celebrate with us. Now it was mentioned, our flagship event is the International Astronautical Congress, which took place last year for the 76th time in history, and this time in Sydney, Australia. And for those specifically who were not there, we would like to show you the highlights of this IEC with a short video.
Welcome to the 76th International Astronautical Congress right here in spectacular Sydney. The room is packed, the energy is electric. This is the spirit of the IAF and the spirit of connecting all space people.
Please enjoy your time here in Sydney. Thank you for coming. Thank you for pushing humanity forward.
one-to-one with global space leaders. And on this stage, you will be offered a series of really very exclusive interviews with the leading heads of space agencies.
Let us continue to make space a platform for peace and discovery, innovation and opportunity for all, and especially for the next generation.
We are happy to talk to young people in public.
It's astonishing. It's remarkable. I'm eager to hear about what you achieve, and let's look forward to a wonderful, sustainable, peaceful future in space.
So talking about the International Astronautical Congress, I would like to draw your attention to our next edition that will take place this year from the 5th to the 9th of October in the beautiful city of Antalya in Turkey. And it is also my great pleasure to acknowledge the presence with us, a very prominent representative of the Republic of Turkey, Alpa Gezeravci, who is the first Turkish astronaut and member of the board of the Turkish Space Agency. Alpa, thank you very much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you all at our event in Antalya. A lot is talked about climate change, and the IAF has taken up this topic already a few years ago, and I wanted to also mention that our next global conference on space and climate change will take place in Rwanda, in Kigali, from the 2nd to the 4th of June. And again, whoever is interested and engaged with space and climate, do consider joining us there. It will be a great event. Now you have heard also that the IAF now counts 604 member organizations from 82 countries as our membership and our partners. And of course, we are extremely proud of every individual organization, but there is one organization that has been always extremely supportive of the International Astronautical Federation, and that is the European Space Agency. And we are very pleased and honored that the Director General of the European Space Agency, Josef Aschbacher, is joining us today here. And I would like to ask him to address you with a few words about the cooperation between the ESA and the International Astronautical Federation. Josef, please.
So good lunchtime. I don't want to distract you too much from eating your wonderful food. Just a very few minutes from my side. Christian Feichtinger asked me to say a couple of words from an ESA perspective, because we are a very strong and long-lasting member of IAF. So I will be very short, promised 2 to 3 minutes. So first of all, dear guests, dear Minister, Commissioner, Excellencies, fantastic to have you here, and I'm really delighted to intervene here at this VIP lunch hosted by the IAF. This year's edition of the European Space Conference is under the heading of delivering on Europe's space ambition, sovereignty, security, and industrial transformation. ESA is very committed to these goals, as you know, but to reach them, we need the help from our partners, and our partners is all of you, but also one of our key partners is the IAF. For 70 plus years, the IAF has been leading the efforts of connecting all people, all space people on a global scale. And this is why ESA is a very proud member of the International Astronautical Federation. Our commitment to the IAF is a logical consequence from our setup as an international intergovernmental organization. Many of the ESA staff members hold leading roles and positions within the IAF, such as Geraldine Nascher, the Vice President for Industry Relations and Space Economy, or Christian Feichtinger, as you know, the Executive Director, also being seconded and sent by ESA. ESA remains a steadfast supporter of the IAF. All of us are looking forward to this year's edition of the ISC in Antalya in Turkey. The Congress theme, to which I fully adhere, is "The New World Needs More Space," and I think this is a beautiful title, and I'm very happy to see the President of the Turkish Space Agency here with us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, gatherings such as this luncheon serve to foster the exchange and development of ideas. Human interaction continue to be an essential element in all aspects of our work, and through these connections, through these trustful connections, we promote mutual understanding and increase our efficiency. Productive dialogues like this here during the lunch and our commitment are further making sure that space is utilized in the best possible way for our citizens, for our people, for our planet. Thank you so much, and bon appetit.
Thank you so much, Josef, and a big thanks to ESA for the continuous support. And now, please enjoy this lunch, enjoy the networking, and enjoy the conference. Thank you.